and every day, every week, every month, the housing crisis is getting worse. And you come into this chamber and you take debates almost on a weekly basis now, and you give essentially the same recycled speech that the government is doing its best, that this problem cannot be solved overnight. We have a strategy and we have a plan, and yet despite all of that, the situation is getting worse. We heard from Owen O'Brien last week that the overall number of people on housing waiting lists has gone from 91,000 to 99,000. We've heard that there is an increase in homelessness. The figures speak for themselves almost every month that they are published, and the problem is real. The Taoiseach this morning, in response to Teachta Adams, was an absolute disgrace in how he responded to the issue of housing again, where he accused my party of seeking to manipulate people's sense of hurt and suffering because of the fact that they're victims of the housing crisis, that we somehow thrive on their suffering and that we don't have solutions. That's completely and absolutely not true. The Taoiseach knows that, and it's quite cynical from a government that has done precious little really to deal with the housing crisis. Teachta O'Brien and many people in this Dáil sat on the all-party Oireachtas Committee on Housing and Homelessness. They were diligent, they did their work, they listened to witnesses. That committee did excellent work, produced a report, set targets that this government should be meeting, and yet you, Minister, will not even work to implement those objectives, modest as they were, that would actually solve the housing crisis. So when solutions are put before you, and my party has put forward dozens of solutions, and Teachta O'Brien has published dozens of policy positions on how we can address the housing problem, you and the government have simply ignored them, and it's not good enough. So I will never, ever cynically or any other way play on people's emotions or play on people's fears or play on people who are victims of the housing crisis. I represent them. I come into this chamber and I represent them, and will put forward solutions. And that's what we want, Minister. Not hollow words, not honey words. We need solutions. And Teachta O'Brien has gone through those solutions. You know what they are. And all I can say is, at the very least, at the very, very least, you need to commit to implementing all of the recommendations of the all-party report, of which so much work and effort was put into.